On the left, we have the Samsung Galaxy A16 5G. And on the right, we have the Moto G Power of 2024. Which one of these phones will work best for you? Let's compare them and see. So the first thing I want to discuss when it comes to these two phones here is the current price that you can see on Amazon right now. The Moto G Power is at the price of $209. Now this phone is going to have a little bit more than the Galaxy A16 5G, but the prices are about $10 apart. So the G Power 209 and the Galaxy A16 $199. So basically 200 bucks. Which one is the best for you? Both of these phones have 1080p displays. The Galaxy is going to have a Super AMOLED display, and the Moto G Power is going to have a LCD. Now both of them come in at 6.7 inches, 1080 by 2400 pixels. Well, the Galaxy is 2340, and they're both going to have a 50 megapixel main sensor on the back. You also get the option of up to 8 gigs of RAM on the Galaxy and 8 gigs on the G Power. And both of them feature a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. So very, very similar when it comes to those specs there. And also similar when it comes to the physical build quality along the right side. Now, both of these devices are going to have a built-in fingerprint scanner on the side that doubles as a power button. You also see there your volume up and down keys. And then on the top, you're going to have your microphone. Dog for there, sorry. On the top of the device, you're going to have your microphones there. And if we switch over to the left side, we're going to have the SIM tray slot to put in your nano SIM or micro SD card slot for expandable storage. And then the bottom is where things are a little bit different. You can see they both have USB Type-C for charging. They both have a cutout for the speaker. But the G Power has a headphone jack as well as a microphone, similar to the Galaxy there. So already something that the G Power has. 10 bucks more, but it's going to have more. One less camera, but a headphone jack. So can't really get too mad about that. When it comes to the display itself, the Galaxy has a refresh rate of 90 hertz and the G Power has a refresh rate of 120 hertz. The Galaxy is going to have Android 14 and has 6 upgrades, like major OS upgrades, which is pretty interesting. We want to see how that actually turns out. The Android or the Moto G Power has Android 14 and it's already on Android 15. As far as processors, the Galaxy is going to have the Samsung processor inside. It says here that it's supposed to have the Dimensity 6300, but it doesn't. The processor that's inside this device is actually the Samsung Exynos processor, and I believe that is the 1330. Yeah, 1330 Exynos processor. 4 gigs of RAM in this model, and 128 gigs of internal storage, while the G Power has the MediaTek 7020 with 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of internal storage as well. So when it comes to that, specs, you know, they're pretty much similar. When it comes to Geekbench scores, you can see the Galaxy has a score of 963 for the single core and a multi-core score of 1985, while the Moto G Power has a single core score of 913 and a multi-core score of 2263. So 300 points difference when it comes to the multi-core score, but very similar when it comes to the single core. So when it comes to day-to-day activities, bouncing in and out of applications, you know, loading up your Google feed, scrolling through things of that nature, it's not really going to be that much of a difference. But the displays are probably where you're going to notice it the most. Like for example, and from what I'm seeing here, viewing angles is much better on the Galaxy A16. I can pretty much look from any direction here, and it's definitely a lot brighter. I believe this is at about half brightness, and this one is slightly below, so it's at half as well now too, but it's still much better on the Galaxy. So let's go ahead and pull up a 4K video here, one of my favorite ones to watch. Galaxy is on the bottom and Moto G Power is on the top. I'm gonna play the Moto G first. And I'm also gonna cut that volume down. So the honest truth is the screen is beautiful. You know, it's no way of like saying like it's that much worse or that much better than the other one. It's just a matter of preference. Now it is going to be a higher resolution that you can watch this video in than the Galaxy, but I still think the Galaxy has a slightly better display just because of the AMOLED technology. But nonetheless, it still looks good. I mean, there's not really much to complain about when it comes to that there. That looks really good. So where we at? We're about the 45-second mark. So let's go ahead and do the same for the Galaxy. Cut that down. All right, let's look at the Galaxy here. Keep in mind, this is at 1080p at 60 frames per second, and it's no HDR. So I want to see if you guys notice the difference there. Still looks really, really good. Yeah, to me, that looks really good. All right, let's go ahead and pause that. Went over the 45-second mark, but you guys can see display quality a little bit better on the Galaxy here. It's just the MediaTek technology is just that much better. As far as the cameras, I went over there earlier. Main sensors are 50 megapixels on the rear, and the ultra wide is 8 megapixels on the Galaxy, or excuse me, on the Moto G Power, and 5 megapixel on the Galaxy A16, and it also has a 2 megapixel macro lens, which is honestly useless. As far as a 2-2 benchmark here, this is where you see the performance difference as well too. Galaxy has a score of 413,000, while the Moto G Power has a score of 442,000. So slightly edging out the Galaxy when it comes to both the Geekbench and the 2-2 benchmark scores, but nonetheless, phones are very similar. It's not much difference there. I honestly think you won't notice it in day-to-day usage. But one thing I would say with the Galaxy having less RAM than the Moto G Power here, you're going to notice a little bit more lag when it comes to this phone. Now, when it comes to battery between these two phones, you're going to have wireless charging on the Moto G Power and no wireless charging on the A16. The Moto charger is actually faster wired as well. It's 30-watt wire charging, while the Galaxy has 25-watt wire charging. So both of them are quick, but the G Power is going to be slightly faster. So an extra $10, and you see what you're getting more for the Moto G Power, but you won't be missing too much if you get the Galaxy A16. So this is a matter of preference there, but like I said, the purpose of this video is to show these two phones in case you were in the market looking for a brand new device. But in the comment section below, let me know, do you guys want to see anything in particular with either one of these devices in a future video? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with your family and friends. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.